Good morning, good morning, good morning, YouTube. How are you? We are here for yet another day. I am demanding that today be a good day. I am demanding that we have no conflicts today whatsoever. And today is going to be a peaceful, if nothing else, day, but I think it'll be a good day. I have so much to say. There is so much to say. Okay, so first things first, thank you guys for not touching anything yesterday. You weren't perfect, but you were good enough to for a first day. For a first day. So first things first, first day. I just want to say congratulations. You realize now that you didn't die. You didn't die. Your worst fears did not come true. Your worst fears are not your worst fears for no reason. Your worst fears were put in your head as your worst fears in order to keep you in line. So what the Matrix will do is it will take a horse and it will put a noose around its neck and it will tie it to a plastic chair. I think we've all seen that meme before. It ties you to a plastic chair, and in your mind you think that you are struggling. In your mind you think you're blocked because you have a noose around your neck and you're like, I have to. But I want to remind you that you haven't been able to for 2 years and nothing's happened. You have not been able to do this for 2 years and nothing has happened. I also want to remind you that yesterday you didn't die, that yesterday you were fine, that today you're going to be fine, today you're going to be okay, and you're going to make it to tomorrow. So, day one is the hardest in any situation that you do not feel safe, that you feel like your life is falling apart. Any transition is very difficult. It's like the first couple months of a new business and you really wanted to make money and it's not making it yet, and but you haven't done the work because you're focusing more on the money than the work. You're focusing more on the results than the progress. And really everything is about a journey. It's not about snapping your fingers and magically appearing somewhere. It's about taking the journey little by little and getting where you have to go. So day two is the day you realize the illusion. And if you didn't realize it, I'm here to tell you about it. Day two is about realizing the illusion. When I first started being gang stalked, I thought my life was in danger as well. I thought I would not make it out alive. And here I am, having made it out alive. So you realize that at some point, early on, hopefully, you realize that the people following you are just normal people. They're not like assassins. They're not here to kill you. And then you realize these people, half of them don't even know what is going on with you. They have just been brought on board to be a menace and to be in their lower nature. And then the third day, philosophically speaking, in your gang stalking journey, you realize that these people are also a victim of the same thing that you're a victim of, that these people are also at the mercy of something as well. So you stop worrying about it. It still remains a bit of a nuisance because it's fighting for your attention, but not so much as to not be able to sleep at night thinking someone's gonna kill you. So it's not that it's not that the reality doesn't exist. It's that your particular situation, you came to be specifically broken out. You came to be freed. You came to be freed from this. So your situation is too loud to be disposed of. Your situation is healing. It's healing. Your situation is reaching conclusion. So you have to relax with what's going on, and you have to let yourself get to the point where healing can come. It was mental. The Matrix is really about mental imprisonment more than anything else, and it's about self-sabotage. And when other people are doing spiritual work on you, not the ones you think, but the ones you would least expect, the ones that are closest to you, the ones that put handlers in your life, the ones that know that they're going to ask you to get something, and then they're going to spiritually get it out of your hands because they're going to gang stalk it out of your hands. They're going to destiny swap it out of your hands. You must recognize the illusion, and you must stop it. You must stop the bleeding. And it's not just, your enemy is not just in the 3D, your enemy starts in the 5D. And then it manifests itself here. So you can start working on the 5D enemy, but what can we do if you do not release the 3D enemy? Then you're going to constantly be in this situation. Because the 5D enemy, we get rid of this one and another one is going to pop up, even worse than the last. Because what holds you in the 5D is not released. So before I go any further, I gotta talk about something that is extremely important, and that is a coconut cleanse. This is to break curses. You're gonna need 3: mind, body, and soul. You're gonna make sure that you can hear the water in there, because the water is what's going to pull the energy. The water is going to pull the energy. This is to break harder curses, heavy stuff, right? So the shell is very tough, and the water is inside. And so you have 3 eyes here. These are softer points, entry points. You're gonna take the eyes. For the mind, you're gonna rub it all around. Now, for me, I have here, it might be uncomfortable for you. You gotta put it in a bag. When you're doing the first part, you don't need to put it in a bag, but before the crown and the 3rd eye, because your 3rd eye is completely blocked. You don't believe me, but a 3rd eye is not necessarily seeing spiritually or scrying. A 3rd eye is seeing past illusions. So you're gonna go the eyes of the coconut, and I tend to believe they have faces, because they do. I have one that faces me in my bathtub. When I look at it, it looks like it's shocked. Anyway, rub it on your 3rd eye and pray. And you're gonna ask God to please take any evil prayers, any curses off of you, lift them off of you. And you rub it all along your head, the back of your head, all over you. And it activates spirit when you do stuff like this. Take away any evil prayers, anything of the sort. And you rub it all over you. And you pray. And then you put it in a bag. And you tie the bag very tightly. Very tightly. Because you have to break this. And the water is what contains the evil. The water. So when you break it, you tie it up and you slam it against the ground. You're gonna try to break this in one go. because you don't want to touch it after you break it. I mean, you raise your hands and you forcibly slam it down on concrete. And when it breaks, you walk away from it. Don't look back. So do not do this close to your home. Do this far away. Don't do this close to other people's home either. And make sure it is in a bag. Some people break it outside of a bag. I break it in a bag to contain it, so it can be contained. And pray that whatever city worker or whoever that throws it away uses something to pick it up and not their hands. But if they do, still, this is why you want it tied up so tight in this bag. So the first one is for your mind. The second one you're gonna do for your soul, to take away sickness from your soul. So you run it along your chakras. So you start at your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, all the way down. And the root chakra is at your spine at the back. And you pray while you rub it, and you ask for the clearing of your crown, the clearing of your third eye, the clearing of your throat, of all your chakras, for your chakras to be healed, and for all curses on your chakras to be cleared. And you do the same thing. You put it in a bag, slam it down, break it. Try to break it in the first go. If you end up touching this after you've broken it and the water gets on you, you got to repeat it. Have to repeat it again. It must not touch you after it breaks, because you must remove it. And then the last one is for your body. Sickness, ailments in the body. So you get the eye again, and you rub it all over your hands, your vital organs, all over your skin, your legs, your back, everything, your privates, everything. You do the same thing again. You wrap it up and you break it. Wait about a week. Usually you feel relief from these kind of things right away. You feel a little bit lighter right away. Give it about a week. Repeat as needed until you feel clear. So you're breaking curses over your life. This right here. Cleansing work and healing work is important, because what you're breaking off of is your own energy that has come back, that has been blocked from going somewhere else. So you can imagine how much is on there. It might take more than one. I'm almost certain it will. So you continue healing yourself, but as this becomes unblocked, you'll be able to see past the things that you'll ask yourself, how didn't I see this before? Why didn't I see this before? This makes perfect sense. That's when your third eye has been opened, so you can see past illusions right in front of you. The most effective illusions are the simplest ones. The most effective solutions are the simplest ones. Everything that is effective, that flows, is about ease. It is not about craftiness. It's not about devising. It's just about ease and allowing. So allow yourself to heal. Don't force it. Don't time it. You just do what you do and you go about your way. Do this far away from your home. I don't mean you have to drive, but just don't do this in your backyard. Don't do this in your neighbor's yard. Don't do this on the street. Like, find a park, find a bush. You just need somewhere with concrete so you can break this thing. If you leave it without breaking it, it doesn't break it. It must break the spell and release it. Slam it down. Very important. Do not toss it away without breaking it so you can be released. Do not yet start praying for what you want before you cleanse, because whatever is on you is going to have the influence to influence your decision making unless you break the curse. When you're done breaking the curse, immediately invite the Holy Spirit into you to assist you to fight off the rest of what is attached by blood. You must renounce what is on you. It is you who can do it. Nobody else can do it for you. It is with free will you invited it, so it is with free will You must rebuke it. Revoke the contract made. You revoke it, you cancel it, you nullify it. It is done. And then you walk away from that and you ignore it, because it will fight, it will plead, it will beg, and you have the ability to hear it. But it doesn't mean that just because you hear it that it is in you. And it takes some time. When the cord severs, at that moment that you renounce it, the cord immediately severs. But for some time you will feel it. Don't realign with it just because you feel it. Give it time by ignoring it. When I had energetic ties on me, I had to ignore it completely. It will continue to summon you until it becomes tired of summoning you, because it will become tired. Right after you denounce it and revoke the contract, marry yourself immediately in the spirit to be protected from its grasp. That's what I had to do. When I revoked, I had to marry in the spirit so spirit could protect me. Spirit could block me from it, because it was attacking me night and day through a binding. So if I was spiritually binded and I could still be protected, it was because spirit was inside. Spirit can untie these knots even that they're inside. But I allowed spirit to be inside. So even though you're going to be connected to it, spirit can, as long as you listen to spirit, choose spirit, adhere to spirit, choose spirit, there's going to be a tug of war for you, but you choose the energy that you want. And if you continue choosing spirit and listening to spirit and trusting your soul that this is safe and this is the correct way to go, because even though your mind wants to doubt, your soul feels a tug, it feels a pull, it feels safe. And if you go in that direction and continue to choose spirit, then spirit's going to guide you out of it. So when there was a cord on my life that was permanent, but because I chose spirit, I followed spirit, I focused on her, like focused, hyper focused, no matter what I saw around me. She took me out, she saved me, she got me to a safe place. And when I got to a safe place, everything was clearer. Everything was bright, everything was beautiful. I had what I needed. So we're here to break you out of binds in the 3D that are actually in the 5D. There's some of you here that are stuck in organizations that are very scary, that threaten your life. And I'm here to show you the illusion over you. The illusion starts to not have a hold when you accept in the spirit to go into your destiny, into your spiritual family, into where you belong, where you've always belonged, where you're supposed to be. You've walked life feeling isolated, like you don't belong. Spiritually, you felt there's something, but you feel alone. And that's because we were saving you, because these people are not your family, and it's dangerous for you to cord too deeply with them. It's a tough thing to uncord. It takes a long time to get out of it. So I don't care who you are and how much you've been praying. You guys all who've been in there, you need to do the coconut cleanse 3 times. Mind, body, and soul. All together at the same time, on the same day, in the same event. You clean your chakras, our hair, along all the way down to your privates, and then the base of your spine. That's your chakras. So this is for your soul. This is for soul healing. Your body, you do all over your body, and your mind, you do all over your head, and you break it so that you can see clearly. Coconuts are about $1 to $2 each. Get 3. You want to marry into the spirit. You invite spirit into your heart, into your soul, and you give spirit your soul, and you say, listen, I've had enough of this life. It's time. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. And I have a feeling that you guys have already been praying for that, because people like myself show up and we guide people along this path, how to make steps that are going to take them out. And you're gonna learn along this journey how never to be scared of spell work, because you can clean everything off. There is a cleanse for everything. There's a solution for everything. There's an antidote for everything, and slowly but surely you will get there. There is going to be no death for anybody that God has chosen, because anything that even starts plotting against you, Spirit sniffs it out. Spirit knows who your enemies are before you know, and we're here to wage war on your behalf in the Spirit, because you must be saved, and you will have a feeling that you are saved. You are already saved. You are free from things that other people could not have been free from. And now you notice that you could not have done this on your own. This is why you need spiritual help from the inside. What can someone do for you from the outside is only fight for your attention, but from the inside we can talk to you, we can guide you, we can push you, and we can push out what seeks to hurt you, what seeks to cause damage at every turn. We can help you walk the path you're meant to walk. Find your way. From the inside, we can remove the burdens that hold you down. From the outside, we can only pray. But you see, where you're going is going to be riddled with this energy. But this one is the starter pack. These are training wheel energies, energies that just cause you to master your own self. Baal is an energy that just attacks what is already there. If what he needs is not there, his attacks don't work. So you have to master yourself in order to master this energy. You have to cleanse it off. You have to invite the help, because it will continue to cause chaos. You cannot have the spiritual marriages, unions, and partnerships you want with this energy, because it is hard. It is hard to have it. You gotta fight it too much just to allow yourself a connection. It doesn't want you to have the connection, and it doesn't want the partnership to have you, so it will keep breaking it. Now, in these partnerships, you need the partnership for your inheritance. There is a value, a fiscal, financial value to your suffering. In order to get it, there is a partnership that if you don't make properly, genuinely, and authentically, can block your future, can block your freedom, can block your ability to create. The partnerships are a blessing, all of them. Those of us who've made it this far, whoever you've made it with, these are your life partners. These are loyal energies that come here with you to assist on your life mission. Some of these partners could be animals, our familiars, who are here to lay their life for us. They're specifically here to catch the bullet for you. They can be people, they can be children, they can be children that you inherit in some way. They are gifts that you have that you must cherish, love, treat with compassion, seek their forgiveness if you've hurt them. Begin to treat them like human beings, love them, make sure they're taken care of, and protect them with your life. Take care of them and protect them with your life. You keep people who you love without chains. You are bonded on a soul level. So you cherish them and you protect them from evil, even if the evil is inside of you. There are partnerships here that are going to take you to your full potential. even if they are just here to help you cross a threshold. But don't choose yet until you break the curses off of you. Because you are you for a reason. You are how you are for a reason. You don't have to be one thing. You don't have to just love women. You don't have to just love men. You don't have to just be anything. But you don't have to feel forced to make a decision. First, remove the illusion. When the illusion is gone, then you can say, think long term. Would you be happy with the thing that the illusion is telling you that you want? Would you be fulfilled, or would it be another chain, another noose around your neck? So you must cleanse first to understand what you want. What will make you happy? What will be aligned for where you're going? Where you're going is going to have a lot of new things, new people and new experiences, and you're going to want to experience things with the help of the Holy Spirit in you that is going to nudge you. But life is for experiencing. We don't tie ourselves unnecessarily. We must take our time with decisions that are permanent, so you will be careful with spiritually marrying. You will not do this anymore. Because some of these marriages, do you see what they bring? They bring hardship. Because their soul purpose and journey is different from your soul purpose and journey. So you must allow yourself always operate in a vibration of allowing. You see now that the Matrix needs you way more than you need it. They needed you more than you need them. That without them being stripped of everything, that you're still alive, and that hope is still alive, and that peace is possible outside, and that you're going to be okay when you stop clinging to the past and allow newness to open. You are going on a magic carpet ride. It is a new life. It's a new purpose that you're going to have over your life. I want to read something. The last time I read this, people probably listened to it from the first time you guys heard this, I was gonna read something else, and then something else came up. So my spirit keeps bothering me. Read the Steven Universe quote. And I'm gonna read that anyway, but this came up. So this says, what does White Diamond say to Steven Universe? She says, there we are. I've removed their flaws. Now there is nothing to hinder my white light from sparkling through them. I'd rather not spread my uninhibited self so thin, you know, but you've made it absolutely necessary. I'll read it again. And I want to know, what is this in response to? You have to watch this cartoon. Steven Universe is so perfect. It used to make me cry every day that I watched it. Where is it? There's another one. It's called Change Your Mind. And it says, oh Starlight, what are you doing crawling in here? Starlight, what are you doing crawling in here? You want your legs back? You want your planet back? Surely you can understand why I can't let you leave. Look what you did to yourself last time. Hold on, I gotta close this. Hello, Starlight. You certainly gave everyone a scare. They're all just thrilled to see you safe and sound. As for this little game of yours, thank the stars it's over. Did you have fun? Did you get everything out of your system? Good, good. Everyone is so relieved. Welcome home. I need the quote that I came for. It's my favorite quote. Rose quartz, not diamond. Okay. I should have looked it up before I came on here. All right, so this is the quote. The first time I read this quote, I think maybe people heard it from my perspective. And now I want you to hear it from your perspective. Rose quartz, which is the crystal of love, says to Stephen, Stephen is half crystal, half human. His father is human, but his mother is an alien, essentially. She's a diamond. She's a crystal. And she says, isn't it remarkable, Stephen? This world is so full of so many possibilities. Every living thing has an entirely unique experience. The sights they see, the sounds they hear, the lives they live are so complicated and so simple. I can't wait for you to join them. She turns the camera around to her and she says, Stephen, we can't both exist. I'm going to become half of you. And I need you to know that every moment you love being yourself, that's me, loving you and loving being you. Because you're going to be something extraordinary. You're going to be a human being. That's the quote from Rose Quartz to Stephen in Stephen's universe, where Stephen is born and he just has a rose quartz crystal in his belly button. And he keeps searching for his mother, and he is a distraught boy because he can't find her. So, what is the purpose of a rose quartz in Stephen's universe? Rose quartz was the identity assumed by Pink Diamond to further her cause to liberate the earth from homeworld gems and live freely. Of the great Diamond Authority when she was known as Pink Diamond, who created the rose quartz alias so she could rebel against the diamonds and save Earth. Whoever made this cartoon, thank you so much. I love this cartoon. Anyway, so I had to read this part because my spirit kept pushing me to read it. And so we can find messages everywhere about our purpose and who we are and who we really are. And even though it doesn't make sense to other people, it resonates with your soul. On a soul level, you understand because you've always known in some way. And even if you haven't known, you've had feelings. You've had feelings that things were around you, that there was something special about you, and you were not wrong. Day 2 of a new beginning is knowing that there is hope to rebuild, and that whatever you lost, or you were meant to lose it, to be shaken out of your hands, there is hope for you still. There is still hope for you that you can rebuild something, so you can sit down after you have given your life to God, invited your mother in to help you, invited your father in to help you. When I say make peace with your ancestors, you might find that none of your ancestors are human beings, that they're all spiritual beings, because you can't remember any other ancestors that are dead. that you knew that were alive. Maybe you just have one or two, maybe just one though, that you really aligned with. That was your guardian angel. And if they passed on, it's because they're in the spirit helping you. So it could, for me, it's my grandmother. It could be anybody for you. Somebody in the spirit, that's the person that you feel you want to connect to, the person you miss, the person you love. And you're going to align with them. And they're also going to be on your altar because you're going to keep them with you. And when you see where they sit next to God, you're going to realize that this is an angel and not a person. That was your guardian angel, your own personal angel that was sent here with you to help you, to keep you safe as a child, to take care of you. And you don't feel that bond with your other family members because they're not soul family. They're people that you were born into their family, but they're not soul family. You are exactly who you thought you were. And it might take you time to come to terms with the fact that you're not really a human being. Not like other people. It might take you time to come to that, and you will, as you let it sink in. I didn't really myself 100% believe it, but it's like you go in the spirit, you pray more, you experience things more, and then you realize, like, I'm not really a person all the way. Like, I have a body, but, you know, I'm almost like multiple people in the spirit. I have multiple versions of myself. And I'm here for something important. Honor the people who've showed you loyalty through this transition, because this is your real soul family, people who've never given up on you. It can be anyone. Like I said, you could have gone through this and you lost everyone, but you kept people that showed up in dangerous places for you. Those are your people. Anything that is lost, leave it behind. Do not reattach, because you see how hard it is to unattach. Do not reattach. Attach only to good. People who put their life in danger for you. People who publicly align with you. Publicly. People who fight for you. That is family. You're going to realize with family that race is just the color of a vessel. It's like a flower garden. What fun would it be if we only had one flower here? There are multiple flowers. There are multiple variations. Even in flowers, you have red roses, white roses. You can add things to them to change the color of their petals. You might add, like, eggshells and things like that. But at the end of the day, we are all soul family regardless. So you're going to have soul family that are family, that feel like family, a brother, a sister, a friend, that are of a completely different race, and it's going to mean nothing because they are going to feel like family in your soul. And we protect each other. So that's why we cannot allow other people to break our bonds and get in between us, because your family is the key to keeping you out of dangerous places, and you're the key to helping them get to where they need to go. And your destinies are all attached. Your wealth is all attached. Your progress is all attached. And even if you don't walk the same path, you will meet again and again, and you will need each other, because as you rise, you will know that if you need something, you know someone in a place that is high enough that can get it for you. And their loyalty for you will be complete, because you're a real family, not tit for tat, not transactional, not what I get out of it. That you will be able to go to dangerous places for them, because they will go to dangerous places for you, because no man is ever left behind. We don't leave anybody behind. We all go together. That's how it works. You need people that you know are going to stand in front of a bullet for you. People that would lay their life down for you. That is the only kind of love that is acceptable. and you will do the same for them happily, because that is the bond that you have. So the people who have made it through with you, those are your real people. Everything else was not good enough. You have to just accept that you were shown. You were shown. Because if you were gang stalked, or if you're under threat of death, and people run because they cannot see how they could be under threat of death, then you must understand that you can't build anything with people. Let me explain. Where you're going, if you want any wealth and success in this world, is going to be riddled with entities that are stronger than the entities you're fighting now. They're gonna have more money, they're gonna have more power, they're gonna have more influence, both in the spirit and in the physical. If you cannot beat where you are right now, you cannot be allowed into this dangerous place. So you look at people that develop things that are very powerful. I was just reading this morning, the CEO of Telegram is in police custody. And look at how strong what he has is under attack. So if you are to build your idea and go as far up as you want to go, then you are going to need friends who are very powerful. You don't make enemies, you make alliances on a soul level alliances, that when them people come for you, you know who to call. It's going to be an emergency call, and people can come in the spirit for you that are strong enough, that are capable, but that are willing, because it will cost them to come for you. This is why it is essential to marry in appropriate families and to untie from families that are no good. The problems of yesterday are yesterday's problems. They are finished and they're not your concern. Today we focus on moving forward. You manifest what you see. You don't need to focus on a prayer after you pray it. You release it and you allow. So, if you are my central focus, then I don't need to chase you. I simply need to make sure that you stay focused on me, and then I can go about doing my work, because I know that you'll always be here, watching, focusing. That is how you attract, instead of doing the work always of chasing. Chasing takes a lot of effort, and it takes energy away from critical work that needs to be done. The art of allowing is the art of attracting. You simply allow it. If you serve as karma to people, you don't have to find them. You don't have to strategize. Where are they? You attract them. You allow them to come to you. You take your time and you just allow it. They will find you. They will gang stalk you. I don't have to ask anybody to come get their karma. They will find me and they will follow me. I don't have to ask the people who I need to learn. I don't have to force the lesson. I just have to allow them to come and be with me in the spirit, in the flesh, however, and they will learn. So you pray and then you allow. You do not pray and then beat it away. You do not pray and then doubt. You do not pray and then fear. You pray and you allow. Calm in your spirit always, because bees are attracted to honey, not vinegar. So you create sweetness in yourself and things attract you. You do not need to chase things, you will chase them away. So when you want something, you just allow it to come. You want your freedom, you allow it to come. Don't chase it. Don't look for it. Don't strategize. Don't fix. People who want to be fixers are their own gods, and it doesn't work out. You pray, you put it in capable hands, and you walk away. If you want to be a CEO, you don't do your own accounting. or you will be in jail very quickly. You don't do your own IT. You don't do your own whatever it is, because you are not, you put it in capable hands. Your job is to manage the relationship, to let them manage the work. When you pray, you manage your relationship to Spirit, but you leave the work to Spirit. You don't do Spirit's job. You ask Spirit for something and you calmly wait for Spirit to deliver your package. Calmly. Allow it to come. Don't panic. Don't rush. It's here for you, no matter what it looks like. Work has to be done to make it possible. There's heavy lifting. There's a lot of, tight spaces it has to squeeze through to get here. And you are going to panic if you focus on it, if you watch it work. When we put food in a rice cooker in the oven, we check every once in a while to make sure it doesn't burn. Is it ready? But we cannot be in the oven doing the baking. The oven has to do its job. We get to go and free ourselves to do something else and just allow the work to be done. Yesterday was your first day of allowing. Just allow it to happen. Your worst fears will not come true. I will not get up and go where you think I will. It hasn't happened yet, but you have to relax. Calm down. Slowly but surely, you build your alliances that are built from a place of authenticity and vulnerability. Vulnerability means you're not superhuman and you don't have to be. You can be hurt. You can be nervous. You can be scared. And you'll notice that as you put your foot forward, you offer your hand, that somebody will offer theirs. Because what did I tell you? Giving is receiving. As you give some grace, you receive some grace. And as you continue giving more grace, helping, being of assistance, nudging, then someone gives more. And at the day where your tower comes, someone who's instrumental says they're not going to participate, because this is not just, this is now a soul connection. And that working against you would be working against God. So you have to align with the same energies to come into the family completely. You must come in. The attachments that you want cannot happen if you serve two gods. So if you don't denounce the contracts on you, someone who's been abused by that contract, that energy on you will not reattach. Cannot allow it. It's too scary. Cannot reopen that cycle. It's incredibly important to release the past. As you pull away from it, you'll see its influence in the 3D pull away from you. And when you release it completely, the problem will disappear. And you'll ask yourself, it was that easy? Yes, it is that easy. It's a 3D problem. It's a 5D, problem. The 3D is just manifestation. It's a 5D issue. And you must be careful that you don't release the 3D attachment without the 5D, because the 5D will manifest something worse. And the worst is at the doorstep. The worst is still lingering. That's why I cannot leave you alone for a second. I have to convince you to get rid of it. If this worst thing comes and it gets here, it is going to accuse you of things, and it's going to put you in a position where you can never access the future, because the people you are meant to reach will not want to hear a thing from you. You must release it to expunge your record. You've paid the karma in the 5D. You've paid the debt, so let it go. This energy must be repelled today. I tell you, every day it must be done today. It's already started, so it must be completed. It's very trying to watch people flirt with death, because there is danger beyond the danger of your life. There were 4 dangers. We got to get rid of the first one, the entity, so the other ones can go. We've gotten rid of one of them, which is the threat of ancestors. You're no longer under threat of that. Got to get rid of the entity, so the other 2 disappear. These 3 are connected. So what are you waiting for? Cleanse and revoke and marry. That's your trinity. Cleanse, revoke the contract, marry into the spirit immediately, because protection will be needed. The tower didn't come yet. When it starts, you need alliances that refuse to go against you. Okay, so let's talk about breaking bad habits. I don't think I need to say too much about this. First day is scary, it's tough, but you show faith, you show diligence, and then you get through it. And then the next day is the day of realizations, like, oh, I can, survive this. And then day after day after day after day, you start realizing nothing's gonna happen. Stay with your walk. Some days are a fight, but I want to tell you, when you're breaking a bad habit, 3's the charm. The 3rd day is the day of breakthrough. The first day is critical to start. The first day is monumental to start. It's a monumental day. They're happy to see you begin. There's a quote that says, God is just happy to see the work begin. It's a seed. The second day is critical. It is where your bad habits try to come back to reverse your work. They fight. So the second day is a critical day. Today is day 2. You stay grounded and committed. Thoughts are gonna come, panic is gonna come, nervousness is gonna come. We remain committed. So I demanded today be a national holiday in the spirit, that we are going to continue. We're going to get through tonight, because once you get to the 3rd day, there is a relief that I've made it my 3rd day. And then the days after that just flow into each other. When I had an issue with fighting and being provoked, I would make progress one day, the next day would be, I would relapse, progress, relapse, back and forth. When I got through my 2nd day, gritting my teeth, by the skin of my teeth, I swear. The 3rd day, it was like, oh my gosh, it felt like a habit at that point, just with 3 days. And then after that, I've just been able to just go through. And now I've developed habits that help me not be provoked. Addressing the trigger, not avoiding it until it pisses me off, but just addressing it right then and there, talking to it, and then releasing it, and it goes away. You have to release the thought. Don't just run away from it or avoid it. Look at it. It's saying, but remember last time. It's saying all of these things. You have to look at it and say, I'm not going in that direction. I've tried this before. I've listened to you before. Releasing it and allowing healing room to come in, allowing white light room to come in. When your hands are idle, the devil will find work and you have already conditioned yourself over so many years to operate out of a place of destroying. Now you must find a way to build. The only thing on this path that will work is the thing that has to work. So as you try things and fail, it just means that it wasn't the thing that you're supposed to do. If you try anything that you're not supposed to do, it will instantly be blocked, because on this path, it is a narrow path. It is like shoulder to shoulder. You can only go through what is meant for you. You can't turn, you can't do any of that anymore. They don't trust us to do that. But we had our time, and you know, look at us. We have to walk this path. So you may have had an idea when they said think bigger. I understand it now. Don't think about a little local company, multinational, corporation, board members, huge. Start that today with that mentality. So you have the ability to do that, and that is what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be doing this menial work where people are enriching themselves by binding to you and draining of your wealth. As you reclaim that, the wealth of those who've stolen from you energetically will fall. As you reclaim your spiritual inheritance that was stolen, and you start to build something, the wealth that was stolen from you through these bindings comes back. You will start to be convinced, finally, that you were the subject of a destiny swap. They stole what they had from you. They built what they built from you. And they kept you in control and in line. And now it's time to leave, to get what is for you, to no longer be a slave, to no longer let sweet lips convince you. Sweet lips convince you of lies that keep you bonded. So here we are, day 2. No one can touch you. The problem is behind. You'll ask yourself, how can I say such things? And then relax, because it is done. I simply have the confidence of knowing that it is done. You will learn the confidence of knowing that it is done. You will learn that confidence. And you have a little bit of it already because you've seen it in action before. So when you pray for something and you know it's done, you put it away and then you go work on the things that now need your attention. And it's not always easy to believe in everything that you want to believe, but you gotta do the work, you gotta start, you put up the prayer, you do the manifestation work, you talk to God about it, you release it, and you go. You have to start working on your business idea. You have to start mapping it out. That's what your hands are supposed to do right now, because you're in a down period. You start working on your business idea. You start mapping out, how would you get it done? What do you want it to look like? Not on how much you want to make, on what do you want to build? What problem is this going to solve? That's how you go about it. You need something legal that you can scale and that can be replicated in different places. Something where you don't have to live in just one place. And you gotta start thinking like one who delegates tasks, not one who carries everything themselves. You become more of a thought leader, someone who navigates people mentally, and you become more of someone who can delegate. Take a task and give someone an idea. Give them a result. You don't say to them how to do it. You just tell them what you want them to accomplish and you give it away. So you don't say, I want you to make me rank at this. You say, I want a solution to this problem that I have. And just give them the problem and let them do it. If they come back without a solution too quickly, you say to them, please don't push it back on my desk. I gave it to you for a reason. I want you to fight with it, wrestle with it, and then come back with a solution. And you empower them to do it, to start thinking like you, to never give up, and to come back with solutions every time. So it can alleviate your hands for building something, not for muddling yourself in work, because you will become a slave to something. What you build, you must allow yourself time to celebrate life and enjoy what you're building. You must allow yourself time to take a vacation, have a family, have friendships, enjoy life, knowing that you've left things in capable hands and you can come back and it's not going to be on fire. People become incompetent when you micromanage them. People shock you when you give them space. Because as you give them their space, they build and they develop. We work with people in a loving capacity. Remember what it was like to work under stress and duress and dictatorship. It didn't bring out the best in you. When people are treated well and they're loved and they're given freedom and they're compensated properly, sometimes you might have to pay people percentages instead of salaries, because trust me, when I paid my kids just a dollar amount, they worked just enough. When I gave them a percentage, if I came and business wasn't great that day, they were about falling apart because they were emotionally invested in the outcome. So learn about equity, giving some equity, because then you give people a reason to throw themselves in front of a moving train to protect what they're building. Always give love to receive love. Give mercy to receive mercy. Give trust to receive trust. Give of yourself authentically, no pretending. And authentic giving sometimes requires, not encouraged all the time, smoothing things over. But the best way is if two people can come together and say, whatever happened is water under the bridge. We don't think about it anymore. We move on. It's life and it happened. Then you can just walk away. And sometimes people like us, we're in a fight every lifetime. So it's like, it was just another time of fighting again. And then we find peace and then we move forward very easily. So the next phase involves partnership. None of us met each other for no reason. None of us. We all met for a reason. Remember that whatever you touch and whatever you do, now you're a magnet. So if you touch bad things, they come back quicker. Karma, when you're in this state, is fast. In the old world, it took a while. Here, if you even so much as shoplift, I promise you, it's not gonna work. You cannot. People will see people like us and they'll say, oh, you're a goody two shoes and this and that. You just know your luck with doing that is just so bad that you're gonna get caught. And you just cannot afford it because you felt it before. You just cannot. I'll tell you a story, true story. When I was 10, I went to Walmart and there was like this little cute ring and I wanted it and I didn't have the money. It must have been like $3. It wasn't even like back then. And I wanted to steal it and I didn't have time to put it in my pocket. I was looking at it so long and I was about to. And this guy was standing right close to me. He was one of those plain guard, security guards. He was like right there and he goes, put it back. And I jumped. I was so scared. I just put it back and I ran out of the store. Before I put it back, he said, you're gonna leave the store now. And I was like, oh my God. And I rode the bus home and I was trembling and I was like, I was scared my parents found out. I didn't want them to find out. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't okay. This bothered me till today, that I'm here today and I still feel the same emotions. I remember the bus ride. I remember everything. That's how much God speaks to you when you're not supposed to do stuff. And it's been like that ever since. I've tried to, okay, let me take a chance. God's like, you're gonna stop this. Oh, you did it for a month, 2, 3. All right, well, you're not getting the point. You're going to stop. Other people can live like that for years. They make money, they build things, they whatever. And I'm like, how comes I can't go past a certain point? Like, even if I start, the point you're at now, they won't even let you touch it. They won't even let you start. By the time you look at it, they're like, hey, put it down, because that is going to jeopardize where you're going, because you need to be in the limelight. You cannot have that a part of your history. Now, had they not stopped me when I got to gang stalking and everybody was searching my past for things to connect me to, they would have found everything. They would have destroyed me completely. But because God kept me in line, I was able to be decent enough, clean enough to get through. That is the point you're at now. You gotta be clean enough to go through. So everything must be destroyed behind you. You cannot hold on to any old habits. Imagine you want to get into Forbes magazine and you have a solution that no one else can figure out. And all they have to do is go into your past and annihilate you publicly. The company goes to zero. They steal the idea, and then you have to sit back and watch somebody have billions of dollars off of something you built. This is what, in this moment, you have to avoid. You must align properly to your spirit family now. Don't risk any moments. Spirit cannot hold your problems back forever. It will come. You're doing the work, you're trusting. Don't touch things, don't try to fix any solutions. Do what I said. Cleanse, pray, align yourself, marry into the spirit for this protection, so that you can have emergencies and run into the spirit and say something is happening, and they can go try to block that. Block it from touching you, because they need what you're going to build. They need what you're building. They need what I'm building. When they raise you to a position of prominence where people can hear your voice, it's for influence, so they can speak through you. So they can, you need your name to be honorable. So you must stop touching anything that can destroy your future now. Don't dabble in things to make money in any way that, if it were exposed publicly, could put you in a bad position. I know that's going to be tough, because you're thinking, well, how am I going to eat? Trust and obey. Just trust. We're dealing with magic. We're not dealing with 3D things. God creates miracles where destruction was guaranteed. Healing was not supposed to happen in our relationships here. This is the intervention of God. God can bring miracles into our lives. So please don't interrupt the work. It's like blowing out your own candle. Let the candle burn out. Don't tell the candle what to do. Don't try to fix it. Just let it burn. You've lit it, let it burn. That's it. That's all you're doing. You're going to live in your own energy. We all do anyway, but you're going to learn how to live in your own energy. So you have to learn now the things that you manage that are important are things like your own vibration. We do not live in a vibration of fear. God did not give us a spirit of fear. We vibrate in a spirit of authority over how we feel. We sit confidently knowing that we are always attracting what we want, and what is for us can never be taken away. So you sit in that authoritative place that though you're nervous, though things look a little bit sketchy, it looks scary, and you don't have an ability to create change right now, what is for you is yours. It cannot be taken away. Nothing can take away what is yours. If armies come up to take it. It cannot be taken away. Energetically, it is yours. And people might delay your destiny, but are they really delaying it? Or are they just safekeeping it in a sense until it's yours and it's time? And you're gonna get it back. You get it back. You will get it back. Whatever money people built off of your back, as they are destroyed, as they come down, you get your wealth back. And you're gonna take it and you're gonna soar. And your enemies will be no more. They already are no more. You're already free energetically. Whether you believe it or not, because sometimes your belief just muddles your experience of creation. But it's here. It's already here. Jealousy is eliminated from your vocabulary once you understand that you can create anything you want. Why waste your time worrying about very small things other people have when look in your future? Look at what you have. You have the skills to create that. And it was always yours to have. You've developed yourself. Your enemies have developed you. Thank them. Don't hate them. Don't bother. It's a waste of your energy. It's a waste of life force to hate. So you get rid of that and you replace that with thanks, because they made you resilient. They made you a person who can solve issues, who can handle emergencies, a person who's going to continue going. You want a multinational corporation? You think there's not a... How do you think Mark Zuckerberg feels when the whole Facebook and Instagram goes down for like 6 hours in one day, and they're like 6 billion or whatever billion users? Do you think he's not on the toilet with the laptop? You think he's not having a meltdown? You think he's not screaming at everybody? You think he's not in meetings after saying that can never happen again? You think he didn't have to go to court? You don't think politicians have realized the influence of what he's built and they're all over him? You don't think he's a targeted individual? You don't think people are plotting on him? You don't think people want to see what he has? It's pressure. Lawsuits that were won against him in billions. Pressure. So where you're going, you needed this ass whooping. Now you know. Now you know. And you know that you're going to get through it. You can get through anything. So you continue going and moving forward, looking directly into the future, staring into the sun. Not behind you, not around you. Let go of the past. You don't want to do that menial BS anymore. It is beneath you. It's not about being a do-gooder. It's about claiming what is yours. You can do more. And God looks at where we started and shows us where we can go, where we are going. Build it yourself. Don't involve people. Don't ask for help. Don't go to anyone. If it's not yours, when it makes money, they will come. Build it by yourself. You're going to be like Mark Zuckerberg. You're going to have those twin brothers sue you, and they're going to be on your tail. They're going to be trying to build something to compete with you. It's yours. You did it. No help. If the help will come, it comes from inside your camp. Inside your camp, what belongs to you. Your son, your daughter, your spouse. Something that is spiritually aligned with you. As you move forward, the people, there's no point in you cleansing and marrying in the spirit, and the people next to you are just floating out in spirit. They must also marry in. Whoever took those soul contracts, all of you guys have to follow the same blueprint. You must cleanse, pray, and marry in the spirit, or else you're all sitting ducks. Those contracts attract problems. Those contracts are lucrative. There will be more enemies, more dangerous than this one. It is not safe to be out here unprotected. It's not, some energies will still try it. With your protection, they still will. Look at you, what you guys did with the protection. You still did. It's just that it won't work. It won't work. They will devise. They will keep plotting. But But once you're in the spirit and you know how to manage energy, wherever you're going, you will wake up in the middle of the night and you will sense danger, and you will begin to take care of that problem before it even before the seed can germinate in the soil. You put it down. Before a curse can manifest over you, your business, your children, anything, you clean it off. So much so that you never even feel the effect of curses. You just walk right through life. Unaffected is what some people are going to say, but you have the tools now. So don't block what your blessings are by remaining in this energy. You cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. Keep cleansing, keep cleansing. Make a hostile environment for this energy. Hostile. It doesn't like to listen to God's praises. You inundate it. Drown it until it just cannot stay. It doesn't want to stay. Always calm, always peaceful, good energy, and cleansing, 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 praying, doing the right things, pushing yourself in the right direction always. When you have a spirit animal, so the new guy who has been coming here, like your animal is in your aura, it's in your energy, it's in your soul. If you could see your energetic field around you, his energy or her energy is in your energy. And when you project your energy anywhere, you can smell him, he's there. So if you can smell him in your energy, he's there to protect you. And you have to be careful where you put your energy, because people who want to hurt you on a soul level are going to attack him. And if you lose him, he's here to give his life up for you. He would. But if you lose him, you wouldn't heal from that. You wouldn't heal from losing him. I'm assuming it's a him. It could be a her. So you have to be careful where you place your energy. You have to be careful where you project your energy. He's a familiar. He's not just a pet, he's a familiar. If someone had to draw you into a cartoon, they couldn't draw you without that dog. He's a fixture in your soul. And if you come here with a familiar, that means there's going to be a threat on your life at some point, and he's going to take the bullet. So I want to just tell you that. Prepare spiritually, energetically for that, because I had it happen to me, and you never heal 100%. So stop throwing your energy just everywhere. Be careful. People know he's there. People know he's there. If they enter your aura, that means that they are spirit, like a spirit guide type of animal. It's not just a pet. So you have to protect everything you have. You have to cleanse him as well as yourself. You got to do the same coconut cleanse on him, because he's been in your energy. Let me explain. When you come in here and there's curses in here, if I cleanse it of myself. I cleanse it of my kids. I cleanse it of my animals. But whoever is here, even if you're just here in spirit, it afflicted you. That's why you also became sick. You also became tired. So you also needed healing. You must understand that he's in your aura as well. So he will also need healing from everything that you need healing from. So you also have to cleanse him and cleanse regularly. And don't throw your aura everywhere. You have to be mindful of how you use your energy. Because even just by being in a space that it wasn't meant for you, you're going to get it because you were there. So you guys have to be mindful of how you use your energy, where you project your energy. You don't want to go just everywhere. It's not meant for you, even though you want to monitor that way. Sometimes you have to wait for information to come to you instead of you pushing yourself in a space that you're going to regret being in. You have to learn the art of non-reaction. That's what manifestation is about. That's what alchemy is about. You're alchemizing energy. You're moving energy around. You're not reacting to energy. Moving energy around you. Placing energy where energy should be, and then leaving the energy to work on its own. It's like using a program instead of manually doing the work. Why would you have a program and still try to manually doing, like, you're just gonna inhibit the program from doing its job. So today I wanted to talk about how to handle your contract. Before I want to talk about that, let me see what time it is. Before I talk about that, I want to read a passage here. This is the word that came to us for today. And at every moment, we're always going to be guided. We're going to get what we need when we need it. And then we're going to have the strength and grace to release gracefully what is not for us, so that we can let the new enter, because remember, the new is always better than the old. This is a path of evolution. We're not going to hold ourselves back. So this is Timothy chapter 4, verses 1 to 18. It says, I charge thee therefore before God and the Lord Jesus Christ, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and at his kingdom. Preach the word. Be instant in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. Long suffering is when you're being attacked and you don't attack back because you understand. And sometimes even if you don't understand, you're just not going to attack back. You're going to wait. Long suffering is preaching, is telling the word, is spreading the news when you're talking to yourself for a bit, when you're talking to only one person, when you're talking to 2 to 3. Long suffering, because it might be like that for a while. But when you change one person, you might be changing one person who has the ability to change 1 million people. You just don't know. You just do what you're supposed to do. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. For I am ready to be offered, and the time of my departure is at hand. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept my faith. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day. And not to me only, but unto all of them also that love his appearing. Do thy diligence to come shortly unto me. For Demas have forsaken me, having loved this present world, and is departed unto Thessalonica, Crescens to Galatica, Titus unto Dalmatia. Only Luke is with me. Take Mark and bring him with thee, for he is profitable to me for the ministry. And Tychicus have I sent to Ephesus. The cloak that I left at Troas with Carpus, when thou comest, bring with thee, and the books, but especially the parchments. Alexander the coppersmith did me much evil. The Lord reward him according to his works. Of whom be thou ware also, for he have greatly withstood our words. At my first answer, no man stood with me, but all men forsook me. I pray God that it may not be laid to their charge. Notwithstanding, the Lord stood with me and strengthened me, that by me the preaching might be fully known, and that all the Gentiles might hear. And I was delivered out of the mouth of the lion. And the Lord shall deliver me from every evil work, and will preserve me unto his heavenly kingdom, to whom be glory forever and ever. Amen. And verse 22 says, the Lord Jesus Christ be with thy spirit. Grace be with you. Amen. When we find ourselves in these hostile situations and God comes in to save us, it's because what we're here to do is too important. And the way forward is with God's grace. The way forward is with God's assistance, is with God's protection, is with God's guidance. God will tell you everything you need to know. I ask God about everything. I ask about everything. Do you think I should bake this? At the beginning of the relationship, it was just, do you think I should wear this? Do you think I should wear that? Do you think these shoes? I'm like, I don't think this outfit's gonna work. She's like, try it. I put it on, I'm like, oh my God. And everywhere I go in that outfit, people are attracted. They're like looking at me. They keep looking because this outfit is so interesting. Even me, I'm looking like, why? Wow, I didn't put this together. This is such a mix. This is how God puts things together. You're dealing with genius energy. They're gonna help you where you get blocked in your work. You can't think past the problem. They're gonna nudge you. They're gonna say, take a break, let's go for a walk. And you're like, but I gotta do this work. Let's just go for a walk. And you just get up and you go for a walk and you see a bee on a flower and your mind goes to pollination, and then you're like, holy crap, that's what I need to do. I need to pollinate. I need to go fix this so it can pollinate. And you go back home and that's the solution to the problem. Just have to flow and allow and relax and let it be and not worry. Sometimes people come to our life for a season, sometimes for forever, but whatever way it goes, we never lose each other. If we don't lose our dead, then we definitely do not lose our living. We are always available to each other. And especially for people like us, we are a phone call away. Always a phone call away. And when you have love for people because you've been through crazy things with them, they will understand the next time you need them. And it's okay to say, I need help. In any capacity. That's what it's about. So let's talk about the contracts that you guys have, that you guys are going to be held to. Not going to be, you are held to. First of all, congratulations for making it this far, because normal people do not make it this far. If you made it this far, it's because you're not normal. But you were meant to be saved from yourself. You were meant to be saved from what you were doing to yourself, what you were allowed to be, what you were allowing to be done to you. So this cloak is going to attract massacre. You're living it now. You're going to cleanse, and you're going to have faith, and you're going to know that you're going to walk this path, because your suffering was not for anything. You wanted something that wanted you. The path there was treacherous, but you've come this far. And no healing can come from outside. It must come from the inside. It comes from you and your conscious decisions. So, you have to receive word from God daily. And it is a ritual. It's a practice. That's why we pray every day to remind ourselves. We affirm our commitment to God every day. First, it would have been to remind yourself. Then it's going to be to give God confidence in those tough moments that they're not going to lose you. And then it's going to be for both of you guys together, a ritual that just says, we're going to get it done together. Patience in all things. You're going to recognize that God is like us in a lot of ways, the perfect version of us. That sometimes they're not happy with what they see. Sometimes they grieve to see you suffering. It causes them pain. They've just learned perfect non-reaction and perfect self-control. And sometimes I go in the spirit and I'm just like, how are you guys doing? Watching all of this. And they'll communicate their feelings to you in whatever way that you guys establish. And sometimes you have to tell them, it's coming. I know you guys are eager, we're almost there. Because God's also manifesting you, manifesting things. And when they really love you, they get impatient about it. Like, why can't he see? Because they can see clearly, you cannot see. Why can't he see? Why can't he do what he's supposed to do? Sometimes we see things from our perspective. God has understanding beyond what we know. But God also has the human, not the human part, but the part that makes us human that we think is human, but it's actually the soul. That part is the part with the energy, with the feelings. And so sometimes, you have to reassure them, I'm working on it. I will not give up. I'm here. I'm committed. I'm going to stay committed. In every eventuality, I will remain committed. So you go to receive word daily. You go to commune. You go to spend time in the spirit all the time, up there at your altar every day. Twice a day is a minimum. It's the bare minimum. But sometimes you show up in the middle of your day because you've hit a roadblock. Sometimes you're happy. Sometimes you guys are doing a happy dance together. You just show up and you just, you pop in a little bit and you're just like, oh my goodness. You just say something. It's going to be natural. It's a non-human relationship, but you receive information from them and you give them information as well. Not because they're not present and they don't know. It's a communication. Because sometimes you got to go explain to them what they're seeing because they don't like it. And you're explaining yourself. So you're going to learn you're going to learn relationship management, because this is a relationship that must always be at peace. And there are some times where I can't get through to people. I got to go up there and I got to beg for more time so that they don't, if I go up there and they've already decided that they're warring against someone, there's no room. There's no room. That's why I beg people, please don't. They give an order and I don't want to follow it because I know how it's going to go. And I'm like, tired. Like, no, please. Sometimes it's easier to suffer at people's hands than it is to put people under judgment. Because once you put that judgment out, you know how it's going to go. So we don't abuse our power over people. When you have power, you behave. You start behaving over time like you don't even have it, because you know what it is. You don't want power without suffering. You want to suffer first, and then you want to come into your power so you know what you're doing to someone else. Your hands will be forced at times. God's hands are forced. Forced. I mean, there's no other way. Nothing is working. Signs are not working. Begging is not working. Pleading is not working. Making someone sick is not working. Nothing is working. Hands are tied and the cycle is going to close. You have no choice. If I'm given an order in the morning and I don't enact it by night, I gotta go in the spirit. And they're gonna be quiet and their energy is gonna say, why haven't you done what you were supposed to? So I have to wake up the next day and I have to do it. So when I say don't touch anything, don't do anything, I mean that. Okay? Don't do anything. Just allow. Don't pray. Don't project your energy. Don't do anything. Just allow. Allow, 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 allow. So no one has to force anyone. Sometimes you don't get your downloads yet because you're not ready, so other people get them for you. And there's a reason for everything. You're going to see the strategy of it after. It's not safe for you to receive downloads, or the downloads are blocked from you because of the energy that you're carrying or the energy that you're in. Sometimes you carry energy by force, like an entity, but sometimes it's because you haven't fixed your vibration yet. You might be very sad, you might be very angry, you might be very low, and then it's blocked because God cannot come in those spaces. It's a vibrational mismatch. Sometimes you might need someone else to bring you with them. Sometimes you might need someone to hold your hand, and that has no bearing on your spiritual capabilities. It's just your positioning at the moment. So the issue here is there's an issue or a block to be addressed. It gets addressed and then you get released. Sometimes you start as the weakest person energetically. Like I tell this boy, you're too weak for this work. This boy could be the strongest one of all of us for all we know. You start one way, you finish another way. We don't know how it's gonna go. We take our time day by day. Don't judge your gifts or your talents by other people's because you have no idea. And sometimes you don't want certain things because you don't want their portion. You don't want what they have to go through. Because with great power comes great responsibility. Not just the responsibility of controlling it and managing it, the responsibility of what you're there to handle. It's a lot of work. It puts you at a lot of risk. You're gonna be sitting there like, oh my God, this is not what I thought owning Facebook would feel like. So you have to just enjoy every day. Sometimes you're living in a peaceful time and it's just the quiet before the storm. Sometimes you're in a chaotic time and it could be worse, but you don't know. So you must find joy in every day, even difficult days. You carve out moments of peace. You carve out moments where things are going your way, and you focus on doing things that work, finding what works, and then finding ways to grow what works, do more of what works. Things are not about favor sometimes. It's not about if you're favored or if you're loved. You'd be surprised. Somebody's been doing bad things forever and they are so well loved in the spirit. They are so valued by spirit. They're just in the wrong energy. So spirit is going to enact war, put people in danger, do all kinds of things to get this one person back. Remember when I told you it's like being in the military? Nobody calculates how much it costs to bring prisoners back. They just go and get them. All that money for one person? Yes. Yes. All that energy, all that time, all that commotion for one person because they are important to spirit. So sometimes it's not about favor, it's about the danger. If you give somebody something too early, it is dangerous to them and it's dangerous to other people. If you're still in other people's clutches, you cannot get what you need. They will take it. If you're still in the red zone, you cannot get what you need. Gotta disentangle you for all the blockages to be removed. If you have the entity, you have blockage number one. Nothing is getting past that thing. It's hard work to work around it. It's got to clean it. Create an environment so uncomfortable for it that it has no choice. It wants to stay there, but it is disgusted by the things that are happening. Invite the Holy Spirit into your space, into your heart, into your life, into everything that you do. And when you build your corporations, when you build your businesses, when you build your inheritance, you put your God in your symbols, in your logos. You put your God everywhere, the way they put their gods everywhere. The symbol right there in plain sight on that big building that faces the highway is something that maybe people might not want to understand. Maybe they might say it's Illuminati. Maybe they say it's secret society. We are happy to tell them who and what it is. It is God. It is our God. And so, you might decide to have God in your logos, in your, your jackets, wherever you get proud to have God. You might have a mansion and you do something in the pool with God's face, or in the front foyer, something always as a reminder to you because we keep our God first in everything that we do. We're very proud of God, very proud. And we live in such a way that anybody that connects with us must first connect to God. And with God's permission and guidance, they come in. Because if God doesn't approve people, they can't come. Because do you see what happened the last time you went picking for yourself? God will choose a partner for you if you're to have a partner. If you have to business partner, a friend, anything. God chooses everything once you come in. Because what God chooses is perfect. You keep wondering, when God chooses something for you, you're like, how can this be so perfect for me? I could have never thought to choose something so perfect. Like, why does it align so well? Whatever God chooses for you is perfect in its way, and you'll find yourself in it. If God chooses a fighting partner for you, you find yourself in them. If God chooses a life partner, you find some of yourself in it. A pet, a child, anything, you find a bit of yourself in it. That's how you know it's of you. It is of us. My best friend when I was younger had a dream, and she said, she is of us. And she said she was wearing your jacket, and we thought it was like a devil that we're like, what is this dream? I was scared. So I was scared to wear the jacket after. And it makes perfect sense. She is of us, because she is of us. Talk to spirit about everything. You don't have to talk to human beings anymore. You take everything into spirit and you let them know. Sometimes you're not there to just pray. It's a full relationship. It's not just Thanksgiving. It's not just asking. It's like sometimes I have no energy and I'm just laying in front of them. I don't even have energy to pray. I'm just giving them visions of what it is I'm trying to communicate, because I am exhausted. And this is where you go to lay all of that down. And it doesn't matter what it is about. It doesn't matter what the issue. They will resolve all kinds of issues with you. Sometimes you're like, this is so personal. I wouldn't think that I would share this with anyone. Well, if you're thinking it in your head, they're in there already. So they already know. They listen to all the thoughts. They respond to things. They confirm things. They step in some of the thoughts and they're like, no, 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 wrong way. So they're always with you. Take everything to them. Take the problem. Don't expect immediate answers all the time. Sometimes immediate, sometimes no. Sometimes they show you. Sometimes they bring the solution. Sometimes you don't even have to pray for the thing. It's just because you wanted it. They're like, yeah, you want that and it's a good thing. So let's go get it. Eliminate panic responses. Every time you panic, you go in the spirit. Every time you're about to panic, you stop yourself. No decisions from low vibing emotions, because it will manifest based on the emotion. The action will manifest based on the emotion. If I take an action from fear, I'm going to manifest a fear-based result. If I take an action, so you get ease, don't move with urgency. You get an alarming phone call, no need for urgency. You put the phone down and you go finish making your cup of tea. You finish eating your dinner. You relax and you sit with it. And you may say, I'm having a good night tonight. I am going to deal with you tomorrow. Do not deal with things from urgency. You pray that night. You tell God, oh, by the way, there's this issue. Can I get a resolution to it? You wake up with a solution. Or you wake up and you say, well, let me look at it. And if your energy is repelling it in that moment and it's not ready, fine. And the moment it gets ready to deal with it, it says, I remember that thing I have to deal with. Let me go deal with that now. Because that is forcing itself for me to take it seriously now. People on the outside will think you're procrastinating. They will wonder, how comes you're not doing the thing that they're energetically trying to push you to take care of right now? It's because you don't want to deal with it. Your spirit says, well, I don't want it yet. The solution for it is not even ready. If your spirit's not ready for it, the solution's not ready yet. So you just move according to your timeline. The solutions are already there. Look, you right now were a solution to a problem. This problem existed before you were born. And God had to wait for you to go to through every lesson that you went through You had to go through everything that you went through to be ready for to be a solution. That took, let's say, 45 years from the time you were born. And when you were born, God said, before you left, held your face in his and her hands and said, you're going to go be a solution to this problem. It's going to be rough. You're going to have to hang in there. You're going to have to learn lessons. And you're going to be the solution, because people have been crying about this issue. So while you're growing up, while you're in diapers, while you're in high school making mistakes, you're being groomed with everything that you've gone through, everything that you have learned to endure to get here to be the solution. And now that you're here and you are the solution, we cannot afford to lose solutions that took 45 years to come. It meant that there were people praying, losing hope and faith in God because they were suffering for 10 years, 12 years, thinking there is no God because God doesn't hear us. No, your problem is so big that it requires a solution that needs to go through all of these lessons in order to be able to handle the problem that you have. The problems that you have that you're navigating are in direct proportion to what you can handle as a person. You are the person that can handle that. You're the person that can handle the entity. You're the person that can be the vessel that contains the entity, contains the problem, contains the pestilence, houses it, locks it up. If there's a virus, you cannot just put a virus in one of these kitchen dishes. It needs to be medical grade. It needs to be something special. And that thing probably doesn't cost just like a couple dollars. It probably is very expensive. It comes with not just like the vessel, the case for the virus, but also like maybe like a briefcase that you got to put it in, and a hazmat suit and all this other precautions. And something like that needs to be very specially handled so it's not released. So you're the person that can handle containing it. So we contain it from people who it cannot be released into the general population, or we will be in Lord of the Flies. We will have a massacre on our hands because these people cannot handle that, what you can handle. So the strength that you have is important. How can we risk anyone harming you at all? We cannot risk people stressing you out and stopping the work. You need peace to hear the messages. You need peace to listen. So we must step in the way of what steps in the way of your life. We cannot allow it. If they don't understand, they must be made to understand. Because they don't understand that they are causing their own demise. This thing that they're playing with doesn't like them either. This thing is here to steal, kill, and destroy. It will take everything with it. 1 million souls all over the place. That's how big this organization is. That's how it's connected. And you know how it's going to take that through the 3D, because from the 5D to the 3D, and people are going to be killing each other. It's going to be a hostile environment. Because when it comes in, it takes over and it blinds you, and you go into like a blind sort of like craziness where you don't see what you're doing. We have to slow down. If you're here, if you've made it this far, you've paid off your karmic debt. The debt has been paid. You know, when someone goes to jail and they come out and they say their debt to society has been paid, your debt has been paid. So don't pay the debt and hold on. Don't pay the debt and hold on. Don't hold on to the past. Don't hold on to the gang stalking company. Don't hold on to any of the sort. Don't hold on. Let it go. Release it so it can release its hold on you, so you can enter into the new, because it's like boulders on you. When you release yourself, when you allow yourself to be released, you can bob back up to the top and you can find some peace to continue forward. You can see clearly what's been blocked from you. You can see more now that things that you thought were an enemy are not, things that you thought were a friend are not. that the way that you're going is the wrong way. Um, when you manifest from a place of positivity and peace. Manifestation is not destroying, it is creating. You want to create, so you must create from positivity, and you must create things in order to be blessed. You create things that help people. When you help people, when you build bridges, when you love people, people love you back. People have loyalty to you. People keep you in their hearts. Even if they're forced to at gunpoint not to like you, they'll say, I don't like you, but in their hearts, you're still in their heart. So we always do good by people. Even if they don't appreciate it in the moment, they will have nothing, there will be no hooks that they can, and energy can hook to say that you are a bad person or people shouldn't like you or any bad energy. You live a good life so that you can walk out. See, listen, the good karma is people always want money. People always want fame. People always want things like that. You know what you need to want is love. You need to want God's favor to walk through the valley of the shadow of death untouched. This is what you really want. Money will not help you. Friends will not help you. Networks will not help you. Political connections cannot and will not help you, will not be attached to you at that moment where you are being taken down by energy. So, you want spiritual connection, spiritual friends, friends who rank high in the spirit, family, spirit family, and the love and favor of God. In that way, it doesn't matter what you have here. There are people who have almost nothing in the eyes of people who live a magical life. A life where everything is working for them. It's a matter of time before they shoot up. And there are people here who have everything and they're in misery and fear and anguish. They cannot feel the abundance. So, you must always choose to manifest positivity. It's not about being goody two-shoes, boring and all that. It's not about that. It's about favor. Because God can put power in your hands when God can trust you. You build trust. Trust is a relationship that is being built always. Trust is a relationship that is being managed, not achieved. It's not a destination. Trust, the deeper it goes, when it goes into the soul level, it is unbreakable by outside forces. So you must always have with people bonds that are deep, and reject shallow bonds. Reject people just praising you to make you feel good, or if you don't, you must be immune to all of that. You don't need anybody to worship you, and you definitely are not going to be affected by people trying to call you down. Yourself, you must be self-contained. So when you manifest, take your manifestation seriously. Don't just throw energy out and doubt it. Don't just throw energy out and fight it. Work with what you asked for. You can't just, it's like you guys did spells. You can't just cast a spell and then when the person is suffering the way you want, you run in and go help them. It's like that, but the opposite. You ask for something, I want to be saved. I want relief. When the relief comes, give your hand in accordance to that. Don't still work against it, please. Doesn't matter what the outside is looking like, what the threats out there look like. You work with the prayer. But if I do it, but it's still a but. The but is the block. No buts. No buts, no matter how crazy it is. No one's ever done it. That's why you're doing it with magic. No one's ever done it. This is why you're doing it with God. God can do anything. Have patience with the manifestation and allow it to evolve with confidence. Confidence, Godfidence. You do not doubt your power. You do not doubt your ability. As human beings, it's going to take years to master this. Years. But when you get there, it's going to be flawless. You give it time. Don't compare, don't think, oh, I can't. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about any of that. Just allow. There is beauty on the journey. Some of my days that I have romanticized the most, that I look at as the good old days, what spirit looks as the good old days, is the beginning of this journey with me at the scariest moment, where I would just pray every day and trust no matter what happened and just walk the path. You know, I got to a place where I was so exhausted with this. I was grumbling. I was like, oh my God, when is it going to be? And I was so tired. And I had to really fight to hang in there. And they said it was the good old days. And I see why. My faith and my trust at that time was so blind. It was so blind. It was such a, it's the beginning of a relationship, that honeymoon phase. When you have your honeymoon phase with spirit, you're going to cherish it forever. You're going to always remember those days. You're going to go back because it's new. And that kind of love, feeling that the first time, is going to be transformative. It transforms your life to feel real love for the first time. So you're going to be forever changed by it when you allow this energy in. It's going to be weird. And then it's going to make sense. I'm going to make sense. Why does she do that? Why does she throw herself in these dangerous situations? Why does she say those things? Where does she get this confidence from? That's where it comes from. So when you manifest, take your own prayers seriously and know that God answers prayers. Take your own prayers seriously. Don't pray in a spirit of doubt. You may have come into the prayer out of desperation, out of fear. But then, once you're in the prayer and you know you've seen prayers answered before, then you're going to operate out of confidence and say, I know it's going to be done. I've seen this happen before. I know exactly how this is going to go. You're going to be in a position like me one day where you are going to be begging people to please listen. You're going to beg people, please don't do this. And you will have to watch as I watched. And you'll see that it's okay for people to make the mistakes that they're going to make, because they're going to learn from it. That God's ultimate goal is not to destroy people and punish them for the sake of punishing them, but there's a higher purpose to their suffering, and that is the only way to get through to them. And you're going to be able to deal with it easier every time. It's going to get easier, not harder. So you do your best for God and you leave the rest to God. You just give God your best efforts and you leave the rest. Because you cannot do what you cannot do. You cannot force someone to do anything that they are not ready to do. So you will get there, trust me. And if you're watching and you're thinking, you don't know what I'm talking about, you're being guided down a path. When I first heard this and they're like, you're going to do this, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not going to do any of this. I'm going to go back to my life. So I would reject some of the messages. I'm like, yeah, anyways, so moving on. And then eventually life takes you where life is going to take you, and there's nothing you can do. And it's your path. It's just your path. You're going to have split days. So you're going to have parts of your day that are for you and for your work and your own, what you think is your own private agenda. So you're going to be like, I have to work on my company, on my business. I got to do this and that. It's yours. There's going to be parts of your day for spirit, your prayers, your meditation. That time is sacred as well. That's not just a duty, it's sacred time. You got to reconnect always. You got to plug yourself into the charger. And then there's going to be times for spiritual work. So there are times I have to leave my work and do spiritual work. And that's going to look different for everybody. Whatever your path is, whatever you're meant to do, there's going to be a time for that as well. Don't worry about it. Just go with the flow. Manage your schedule. In the beginning of this, there were times where my schedule shifted so much that I couldn't sleep at night. I had to be awake all night, and then I'd have to sleep in the day because of spiritual attacks. So things are going to change for you, and spirit from the inside can make the changes that are necessary without even your permission. Spirit doesn't have to say, hey, stay up all night, now you're nodding off and you're, no, spirit's just going to change your schedule. They're going to do this, and they're like, don't worry, things will change. But it's for your protection. Once inside, they can detect all threats. They can detect health issues. They can give you solutions. They can give you cures. So I'm not just asking you to take on spirit because it is just like something that is personal to me, or I've been put here to like assign souls to an entity. I'm asking you because you cannot be in this cloak without the necessary equipment. It's like having the casing of something without the core of it. The core needs to plug in. That's where all the parts are. That's where the electrical components are. If you don't have it, you have a shell that you can't activate. Spirit makes it work. The contract, I've said this over and over, it requires protection, connection, and guidance that comes with being possessed by spirit, by you containing spirit. We want to enact these contracts from a place of love, loyalty, and family. These are not contracts that are enacted because of an agreement. Because whatever you have is in service of the Most High, whatever you do. Children you have while you're in this part of your life, anything you build, anything that you love, God blesses you for the blessing of God as well. So when you get here, no one has to ask you to say, oh my God, I love God. You just naturally say it because of all the love God has given you. It's back to the infinity symbol. As God gives you love, you want to give God more love. It's a beautiful relationship. So the relationship requires free will. Everything must be done from your free will. They don't force you to do a thing. They just show you. They show you someone suffering, and you say to yourself, well, I can do something about that. They show you someone who has gone through something you went through, and you say to yourself, well, yeah, that's not right. So everything happens from you making the right decisions, but it starts with you coming into a place of love with spirit. Otherwise, it would be needless suffering out there by yourself. Needless, pointless. God will always give people a chance to see that what they're doing doesn't make sense. So, for example, God will not come and strip you of an entity. God will show you what is going on with this entity. And then you will say, the best decision for me moving forward is to get rid of this, or else I'm going to be stuck. So you have to operate like God operates. I look to them to mimic their behavior all the time like a child. So one of the things that I notice is that they don't force, they just allow. They just allow. Gently, they will keep reminding, keep asking, keep pleading, but they will allow. Just because someone has the ability to change your reality, when it comes to things like this, you don't force people's reality. And we don't come and give people false hope just to bring them in. We don't lie like that to bring people in. We honor their decision, and we're very upfront because this is lifelong. There are going to be challenges that are going to require trust. So we're very open. We try to be transparent about all things. So from here on, if you're going to be in the contract, you want to be spirit to be open with you and tell you. One of the things that I really, really loved in the beginning is how spirit told me everything. It was such an intimacy. Spirit was always, it's like spirit's always telling me what other people are doing, what's going on, what I should be looking out for. This is such a sacred friend, sacred relationship, so loving. So this is how you want to walk in your contract. You don't want to do it because you're forced. You want to do it because it's the right thing and it makes sense for you. And from this place, you can achieve everything that you want to achieve. I want to tell you, God always wins. Okay, like let's get that out of the way right now. They do not play to lose. You are going to be humbled every time. You're going to be in awe every time. God always wins. Oh my God, you're gonna see strategy every time you think about the situation again. You're like, wait a minute, everything is on purpose, carefully crafted. God always wins. Always. Things start rocky. The way they begin is terrifying. And you guys work through it together and you come out of the other end victorious. Always. But you have to expect that when it starts, it's gonna scare you, whatever situations you find yourself in. But at the end, what was promised to you is yours. Spirit has never told a lie, will never lie to you, will never lead you the wrong way, will never say to you you're gonna get this and you don't get it. They're gonna be eager for you to get it. They want you to have it because it helps them, it helps you, it is win-win. You being here and taking these contracts was no accident. You were targeted to take these contracts because you are skilled and because your skills are impressive. Your skills are impressive. Let me tell you something. John Furr is impressive. I'm not gonna lie. In every way you can think. It's impressive. And when I read about Seth in Egyptian mythology, I'm like, that is John. That is John, through and through. John does not leave a fight. Like, if we did not stop John, John would fight forever. He does not stop. He's a machine, and he's crazy. I'm talking about natural craziness, okay? This is not an enemy that you want to go up against. Seriously. God had to send something special to contain this issue. Okay, like, I'm not, look, but that's impressive. He would look gods in the eye and challenge them. Do you really think anybody's gonna let you die? Do you not think we need to bring you home? Spirit said every time we come here and we find him, he's always in some nonsense, crazy situation. Every time. He's leading some sort of craziness. He's in something that you gotta rescue him from. And he's fighting tooth and nail. It is just his energy. This is just who he is. He is known to be this way. Every time, every lifetime, when it's time to get him, we have to go through all of this all over again. It takes time to get him because he'll be entrenched in some type of military, guerrilla, terrorist, something. Every lifetime. Every lifetime. That is just how he is. And then we bring him back every time, kicking and screaming. Every time. And that's just how he is. So Spirit accepts you as you are with every flaw. That's how you are, but that's your gift. The gift you are is how you are. The gift of you is how you are. So it needs to be channeled in the right way. Channeled in the right way. Channel the loyalty, the energy, that unrelenting energy that doesn't give up, that looks any danger in its eye. That is valuable, and that needs to be in the right hands. You don't give loyalty to disloyal people. You don't give loyalty to people who are able to see you die like a dog in the streets. No. You give loyalty where it will be honored, where you'll have freedom, work-life balance, patience, genuine love, respect, support, and nothing will be stolen from you. Equal give and take. And you need to be around people of the same caliber as you. Sometimes we think about gods and it's like, well, how can a brother and a sister be married? How can a son and a mother create a child? Like things like that, because you know, there are so few of us. It's like in medieval times or times where monarchies, like, you know, people had kings. You can't put regular people in those positions. So people would marry their siblings and then, you know, it would cause hair, it causes issues. blood disorders and stuff. So they're like, okay, well, maybe we could do it for 2 generations, but the 3rd generation needs to be a cousin, and the 4th generation needs to be a this. And it's so important to put people in the right position that if we want an alliance with another country, we have to do so by marriage that is sealed with a child, with an heir. So if we're England and we want true peace with France, we got to send our daughter over there. They got to send a son over here, and they must have children because our people don't like their people. So in order to create some type of peace, we need to enmesh in a different way. We need to keep it. The peace treaties are very easily disturbed. They're easily revoked. One false move, the distrust returns. So in order to keep a peace treaty, you have to enmesh it. You have to marry something. You have to do something. So sometimes people are half angel, half something else. All kinds of things have to happen that make sense for a win-win situation for the greater good of other people. So these kinds of energies that we that have these tendencies that you think, well, why would God want to work with someone like that? Because we need what they have. It doesn't matter how it has manifested in the past. It's about in what way it's going to go in the future. And I think when you think about if you were to go into a difficult battle, who would you want to go in with? It would be with those kinds of energies on your team. You don't want to be on opposing sides to the kind of energies that we hold. These energies, when they come together and they unite, these energies are undefeatable. They're undefeatable. Everybody brings something unique. Everybody has a respect of the other person because of what we bring. And some people don't always bring fighting. Some people are the peaceful ones. They're the negotiators. They are the energies. Negotiation and peace is just as important as endurance. Fighting is a last resort. We send negotiators first. That's why Mother comes first, because so much can be done from a place of just mediation and peace, bringing peace to a situation, talking it out, bringing trust to the situation. So much can be done. And from that place, we don't have to bring in, the muscle. We don't have to bring in people that are built for war. Built for war. Their comfort zone is in fighting. When you get them fighting, they cannot stop fighting. You bring them into war, but your challenge is to get them to stop fighting when it's time. So you save those. This whole thing has been about talent acquisition. It's been about a lot of things, but talent acquisition and bringing people back to their family, not into a soul family, but back home, back to their family. Knowledge, endurance, bravery, having some balls. You gotta have some balls on you for this job. You have to have balls on you for this contract. This is not for regular run-of-the-mill people. It's for people that go running in where other people are running out. It's for people who don't mind being challenged, who maybe are not going to be happy about it. But if you ask them at the end of a fight if they would have done it again, they're going to say yes. They're going to be like, even if you went through all of that, all that suffering, they just feel, what choice did they have? What choice did you actually have? So you are here in defense of the Most High. You're here in defense of spirit. And the high rank that you seek, you already have it. Because you are here in direct service of the crown, direct service of the Most High. You are meant to be long-suffering with your gifts, so you cannot abuse gifts. You will be reprimanded for that. I have been reprimanded for that. You are meant to be sparing, or they will stop you, they'll freeze you. You work when you're told to work in that capacity. You need permission. Otherwise, you can't. So even though you have the power to create, you're going to have the power to destroy, and it's not going to be something you're going to enjoy doing because you don't want to see people go that way. It's going to be things where even when God's hand is forced, you're not going to want to do it. So any gift you're given, sometimes you're given the gift of someone who comes into your life that you have power over them. They are a gift. They must be respected. They must be loved. They must be treated with care. You must be fair with them. You must give to them. Sometimes your gift is your kids. People used to always tell me, like, you're spoiling your kids, you're giving them too much. But I'm like, I don't know, I just want to give them more. So when it comes to the point that they are supposed to sacrifice for you, it is going to be easy to do that. You're not even going to need to ask. They're going to see you and they're going to throw themselves in. So always give and love and appreciate and nurture and use your skills and your talents for good. Always. It comes back. It comes back in your moment of desperation. That's when you're saving up these tokens. It's not about day to day having things and whatever. It's about the moments that are difficult. Except when you've done your last. The last thing that you could possibly have done yourself, accept it. Don't keep trying to think of more things you could just release it. I release it. God, I release it up to you. You figure this out because I cannot. They're waiting for you to say that. You never knew, but they were waiting for that. Oh, perfect. Now we have it. Now we have the authority to come in and fix the situation. I tend to release things early. I try. Sometimes they put it back on my desk. They're like, try harder, girl. So I'm like, oh, I released it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I gotta move on. And they're like, no, you gotta actually do this one. But don't be afraid to release. When you hear you're free to go. You've done your best. It's the best words you've ever heard in your life. You want to hear those words. You've done enough. You've done your best. You can go. When I heard I did enough, I did my best, I could go, oh my God, a weight lifted off my shoulders. I was like, yes, get me out of here. I'm done with it. So you do your best for God and you leave the rest to God. When God decides that God is waging war, this is a happy day. Yesterday was a sullen day. Yesterday, the energy was like when your dad comes home upset and nobody wants to come out of their room and nobody's making any noise. The lights are off. You're not even on the bed. You're sitting beside the bed on the floor. I've been there, so I can describe it like that. When your parents are upset and you don't want to piss them off, you don't want to do anything. That was the energy of yesterday. And yesterday, I was in a happy mood because that means it's out of our hands now. That means we're done. That means we're drawing to the end. Because when God wages war, the war is already won. It's done. We don't have to see like the step-by-step process. It's done. You have to look at it like that because it's the truth. It's done. People that couldn't see reason begin to see reason. And if they're smart, they will see it early. You stay out of it. Don't touch it. And don't touch anything when God's in a rage. Just, it's your father's in a rage. You're going to learn that. You are quiet. You listen. And when Spirit tells you something, it's another thing I want to say. I used to be the but, and the excuses person, and now when God talks, I say, I agree. That's my only word. I agree. I agree. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that. We asked you to do this. We told you to do it at this time. I just say, I agree. That's your only words. Skip it. I agree. And just let it be what it is, because they know best. Because you know what? Do you remember how many times I screwed things up? That's why I agree now. Because I don't know if I could have been out here earlier or how this could have gone. I have no idea. That's why I just agree. Find yourself to that place sooner rather than later. Come to a place with your enemies or with people who've hurt you where you just say that's life. It's life. Anytime you read about mythology, gods, religion, all they do is fight, and they have to exist with each other because they are eternal beings. They fight with each other and then they sit next to each other. They fight with each other all day and then they feast with each other. That's life. This thing has taught me forgiveness, understanding, and acceptance in a way that I never thought I would. I thought I would die with this grudge. Like, there are people who've done way, 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 way less to me, and I held that grudge for years. That's the Capricorn energy, is to hold grudges. It makes no sense why we do that. But it is what it is. You release it. Set yourself free, cut yourself, just release it. It is what it is. Things happen, life happens. There's good in all people, even people that don't want to embrace the good in them. Just let it be, let it go. Easier said than done. I know I'm moving past that issue faster than I should, but in time you're going to get understanding. In time you're going to, if you walk your path allowing it, you will allow it to come in so it can release you of the burden, so you can smile again, you can find happiness again, you can find peace again, because it's here for you. Be careful with your thoughts. Your thoughts will create what you visualize. What you visualize will create a manifestation. Don't think about the things that can go wrong. Stop producing dreams and visions of things you don't want to happen. Stop communicating in that way. Start communicating dreams and visions of things you do want to happen, things that you want, things that you enjoy, things that make you feel good. Create happiness. Always be careful of these thoughts. They will create a reality around you. You guys are manifesting dis-ease, violence against yourself, and a lack of safety by your insecurity. But you're just learning, you're fresh, you're new. You have to learn a new way. You have to learn white magic. You have to learn how to create your reality and positivity. So this is how you do that. You do not make any moves without permission. There has been preparation for everything that's happened. God could have came in waging war from the beginning, and it would have costed all of us everything. So trust the timing, and trust the way it has had to happen, and trust everything that's happened. It is to break you out of something that took so much steps and so much strategy. My grandmother has a saying, when your hands are in the lion's mouth, you have to release, you have to maneuver it out. Keep inching it in different ways to avoid the teeth, to avoid upsetting the lion, to avoid all kinds of things until you can get it. You do not just pull it out. So take your time. Don't touch anything. Try to be always in a mode where you're preparing for your future and you're preparing for the best that's coming your way. Preparation mode, always enjoying life. Doesn't mean that you're living so much in the future that you're not enjoying the present, but you're always saying, I accept what comes, I accept the way that it comes. So you're in a state of internal preparation for whatever comes. What you will need for the future is always strength and endurance and acceptance of how it comes. And from that place, you're always prepared. If you fixate on something coming in a particular way, then you're not going to be accepting when it comes in a better way, a way that's more beneficial for you. So don't put yourself preparing yourself for the worst. Don't prepare yourself for funerals. I don't care what those tarot readers said. Don't prepare yourself for funerals. Do not prepare yourself for violence. Do not prepare yourself to meet anything. Walk confidently outside. If you're to go outside, be confident. Don't bother communicating with the past. Move forward. You have spiritual permission to do so. You are under the protection of spirit. Your karmic debts are paid. It's time to move forward. Find things for your hands to do. Don't always sit in a state where you're idle and you're going to panic and react and do things. Just take your time with what's happening. Don't move fast. Take time always to consider. Even your procrastination is also a good thing. Trust me, I've learned that. You gotta wait, be patient, and in the meantime, have something that you're tinkering. This moment that you've been put to sit down is a preparatory moment for the future. If you are released right now, you have not a clue what to do and how to go about it because you haven't failed yet. You need to fail your way to the things that you want to do. And it's possible because other people have done it. You will be working with the God of the gods you have now. If you haven't removed these altars, do not have these altars in place when your tower comes. I've gone through my tower. I have more towers on the way. We all do. Get rid of those altars because you're praying to lesser gods that cannot and have not helped you, and it's been proven now. These are no longer your gods. You cannot cleanse and keep an altar. I know it's going to be weird. It's a massive shift, but there is no time. If there were time, I wouldn't be repeating it all the time. It's not by accident. I've said already, there's a value to your service. There's going to be a day where you get to ask for what your dreams and your hopes are, but not with this energy on you. It's not possible because that is not your God yet. You need to cleanse. You need to start connecting to God. You need to remove your altar. You need to put in place the altar for the Most High, your mother, your father, and the ancestors. If you do not have money for the offerings, just give a piece of whatever you're eating. Believe me, those offerings are just as powerful, if not more. Because what you're basically saying is, silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I thee. There are some people that come with big feasts on the altar. They don't come with that heart of purity and authenticity. And there are some people that give half of their dry loaf. And it means so much. Spirit will sit there and eat it and enjoy it with you. Because that just says that the little that you have, you share it. It means so much more. If you cannot buy flowers, go drive around to those pretty parks where they plant flowers and break some off and get like an old bottle, like a vegetable sauce bottle, and repurpose it, wash it, clean it off, and put some flowers on the altar and go from there. And God will manage you. You guys start from small and you keep going from there. Everything started from nothing. Every corporation you see started from an idea. Now, there's some people who went for funding right away, but those don't work the same way as the ones that were built from sweat. Things that were built from sweat and from nothing, they flourish because the business is in the identity of the people running it. Those that came from some sort of plan that have no soul, no signature, no, when you go to a fast food place and all the food tastes the same every single time you go there, it's much different than going to a small place where there's a local cook in the back putting soul into the food. When you taste it, you know his mood. You can taste his hands. You taste his gift. But when they give you something that has been patented, you taste like factory work. It doesn't have the sweat in it. It's like local foods from local countries where they had to pound it by hand or roast it by fire and smoke it. It tastes so much differently. It tastes so much different when it's authentic than when you buy it over here in a package. And you're like, it technically, but and you go back home and you eat it on the side of the road with like it dripping down your face. That is the one that people pay more money for. Let us import it. Pay more money. Let's freeze it and put it in a suitcase and have to explain to immigration why we have frozen whatever in our suitcase. This comes with the essence of your sweat, passion. So when you tell somebody your story, you have 2 employees that come for a job, and one comes with all this accreditation and all this documentation and a PhD, and he speaks the language and he's impressive. And then you have somebody that comes holding back tears and they're like, listen, if you give me a position, I don't care if I have to clean the toilet. I just want to be here. I'll do my job. Who would you want to hire? Both probably, but who are you going to get more out of? You're going to get loyalty out of one of them. One of them, if Headhunters comes around with more money, and, you know, tickets to some game every season tickets or whatever they offer that's a little bit more than what you're going to lose them. But the one who is grateful for the opportunity, who's willing to take it at any cost, who just wants a chance, he's going to include you in his story one day of how his life was changed because you're the person that gave him an opportunity. That's how your business is when you build it from sweat. When you build it from failure, it's a story behind it. So you communicate your value proposition with passion. When you go to investors and you tell them what it is, they are not just looking at you. They're not just listening to your words. They're interpreting your energy and your body language, the passion behind it, the belief. They're going to say, if we give him money, he is going to work 24 hours a day behind the scenes because this means something to him. This is not just him enriching himself. This person cares. People buy into things like that. Even people, especially people with money. The more money you get and you start really understanding human nature, you look for things like that. You can sniff it out. The minute you come into the room, you're going to have that energy on you that this is your last shot. You're putting everything into it. You're going to do the work. Your energy will be pleading, will be pulling at them. So you want to fail at things. You don't just want to get it right away without lessons. You want to go through all of this. You want to see every little bit of the business when you didn't have budgets for this. And you want to remember the days where you were sleeping on the floor, where you had to do this and you had to do that and you had to do that. It's going to bring tears to your eyes again. But this is a real business, so it's a passionate endeavor. And your whole life should be addressed from this place of not just doing things for money. Relationships with no benefit, not strategic. Relationships that have cords, energetic cords, not love bombing, not superficial. Because those relationships will vanish. They will disappear at the moment you need them the most. So these are the lessons that we are learning. It's a different way of thinking. It's a different way of going about the world. There's been a lot of suffering here. There's been a lot of difficulty here. And it's just meant to teach us and prepare us for where we're going, that the next time you have something, a blessing, you will cherish it. You will take care of it. You will never let it slip from your fingers again, because you will understand the pain of loss. And you will also understand the punishment of throwing away what God gives you to protect. So what you've made it out with, you must protect. Protect it with your life. Cherish it so that you know God can trust you with more. So this is the message that I have for today. Thank you for the people that have been listening, and have a great day. Be productive, be hopeful, be confident in God's promise. Even if it's taking a while to come, it's taking a while for all of us, and it's not because God is not impatient about it. I plead with you one last time not to touch anything so you don't break anything. I plead with you, even if you are under God's judgment, go to God today. Offerings, sacrifices, begging, pleading, praying. Because even when God's mad at you, with prayer, authenticity, and changed behavior, God cannot stay mad at you forever. I plead with you to stop whatever it is that's bringing this kind of luck. And finally, clean your energy, even if you've just never done a cleanse. The coconut cleanse is meant for heavy work. Clean it off of you and don't touch the water when it breaks. So it's important to put it in a bag. The best bags are like the thicker grocery store bags, not the thin ones for the vegetables, the thicker ones, and tie it tight. Try to get it in one go, because you don't want it to break a little and you have to touch the bag again. If you touch it, you got to redo the whole thing, which is not a big deal, but you know, doing that in public, people might think you're a little crazy. You already know how this goes. But it must be done, not in the house, not behind the house, not close to the house. It's not good stuff you're breaking off of you here. So you need cleansing on the mind, the body, and the soul. Thank you so much. I think it's been 2 hours. Have a great day, and remember, God loves you.